Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sean here, and welcome to our first rebuild here on Madden 20. And of course, we're going to be doing the Jets. Obviously, we always start out with the Jets. And it's going to be a little bit different, I think, this year, just because of all the, well, say all the new stuff they added. They added a couple of new things, but it's basically the same thing that it has been for the last few years. And one thing of note, I don't think I'm going to use custom draft classes just yet. And if you're wondering why, just ask in the comments and I'll explain it, but I don't feel like really going into it in the video. It's just going to take up a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and check out the roster that we have to work with here. So obviously at quarterback, I think we're going to be set here with Sam Darnold. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him so far in real life. Running back, obviously we got Le'Veon Bell in the offseason. That was a big get. Hopefully he'll be a playmaker for the Jets, and we won't need to address the running back situation at all in this rebuild. We also have Bilal Powell, who's aging, but he'll be a backup for this year. We're definitely going to have to look somewhere else in next year, though. Trevon Wesco, I did just move to fullback, just because he's kind of more of a blocking tight end anyway, and we didn't have a fullback. Receiving situation is going to be fairly decent. Robbie Anderson does have star dev. Quincy Anoon was pretty good. Jamison Crowder also has star dev. He's also a new arrival in this past offseason. We may need to address receiver. We're going to kind of just take it how it goes and see what comes up. Chris Herndon is a really good tight end. He had a really good rookie year. Only has 80 speed. I would have thought he would have been a little bit faster than that, but I guess that's okay. I mean, he's only 2376 overall, normal dev. We'll see what he can become. The offensive line, though, is pretty rough. The Jets did address it a little bit this past offseason by bringing in Kalichi Osemele, and they also just signed Ryan Khalil out of retirement to play center, but he is 34 and not the center he used to be. Brian Winters is still pretty good for the time being, and then we're going to be starting rookie Chuma Edoga at a right tackle. Definitely going to have to address offensive line in the draft, though. Onto the defense, we got Leonard Williams at left end at an 84 overall. I think he's got star dev. Yeah, he does. Quinnen Williams, who is the number 3 overall pick in this past year's draft. I've moved from D tackle to right end because we're going to be playing a 3-4, not a 4-3. If you guys remember from my Madden 19 rebuilds, the few that I did, I hated running a 3-4 defense, but we just do not have the personnel to run a 4-3. So this is what we're going to be doing. Quinnen's going to play right end. He's got hidden dev at the moment. I think I looked at him once and he was superstar. I'm not entirely sure. I did also sign Muhammad Wilkerson back to play D tackle. Obviously the D tackle situation is not ideal. I'd prefer to have somebody around like 330 to be our nose tackle, but we just don't have anybody on the roster, and there's no good free agents that we could look to bring in that are actually a nose tackle. So for now, we're going to run with Muhammad Wilkerson, even though he's a lazy piece of shit who quit on his team. Moving on to the linebackers, Jordan Jenkins is going to start at left outside linebacker this year. He is up for contract. Don't know if I want to bring him back or not. CJ Mosley is another guy that the Jets signed this past offseason. Definitely going to be really good for us. Avery Williamson alongside him in the middle. And this is also part of the reason I'm running a 3-4, just to have both of these guys on the field. Right outside linebacker, we did draft Ja'Kai Polite in the 2nd round, or maybe the 3rd round. I don't know. He was a mid-round pick in this past draft. Looks like he may have some potential. So we'll see how he does. And then the secondary is also going to be a position group of need pretty early on for us. Tremaine Johnson he was terrible last year. Hopefully in real life this year, being with Greg Williams, kind of get back to his status as one of the better corners in the league, but we'll see about that. He's also 29. He's got just this massive contract, so I'm actually just going to add him to the trade block, see if we get any offers. Brian Poole, the Jets brought in from the Falcons in the offseason. He's got star dev, only 26. I think he should be fairly solid for us. And then Darrell Roberts, for now at least, will be a decent third corner. Moving on, we do have Marcus May, who was hurt pretty much all of last year. He is already 26. He was drafted at 24 years old out of Florida. Hopefully, he can develop fairly quickly. I think he only has normal dev. Kind of sucks, but at least on the strong safety side, we've got Jamal Adams at a 90 with superstar dev, only 23. So that position is going to be set forever. He's definitely become one of my favorite players in the league. We did also sign Matt Bryant in free agency because Chandler Catanzaro sucks ass. Missed 2 extra points last night in the preseason game against the Giants, so he had to go. And then Locke Edwards at punter. So that is the roster for season 1. We're going to kind of get into things a little bit here, so I'll see you guys somewhere around mid-season. Actually, never mind. We had a few trade offers here for Henry Anderson, who I put on the trade block last week. And we're going to be taking this deal from Atlanta for a second-round pick next year and a couple late-round picks this year. All right, so we're just here in the next week, and we have some trade offers for Tremaine Johnson. So we're going to be accepting this one from the Chiefs for a second-round pick this year and 2 late-round picks next year. All right, guys, so we're here halfway through the season, and we have some players to re-sign. Leonard Williams needs a contract. He wants 3 years. I think I'm just going to give him 5 and see if he'll take that. And he does, so that's nice. Robbie Anderson wants a contract. I'll do that for 4 years. That'll take him through the remainder of the rebuild. Steve McClendon, I don't think I'm going to re-sign. He's going to regress a lot. Same with Bilal Powell. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell them my intentions. Brian Poole, I do want to bring back. I'll give you a 4-year deal. And he takes it. Jordan Jenkins, I still don't know if I want to bring him back. I might reconsider at the end of the season. God, Locke Edwards is really underrated on here, isn't he? That's kind of sad. Most of these other guys I'm not going to be bringing back. Either they're just not good or they're too old. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm not worried about any of these other guys. So, let's take a look real quick. We are sitting at 4-3, second in the AFC East. We did actually beat the Patriots once too. We just lost to them 2 weeks ago, I think. But we'll see. Maybe we can snag a wild card in year 1. Might be, well, I don't know. That would be really unexpected, but I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, guys, so we're here at the end of season number 1, and as you can see, we did not make the playoffs. We finished with a record of 8-8 and barely missed out on winning the division, actually, surprisingly enough. So let's take a look at some stats here. 15th in offense, and defensively, we were 17th, so we were pretty much right in the middle of the pack all around. Sam Darnold definitely had a pretty decent jump from his rookie year. 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 picks. Much better than his rookie year stats. But Le'Veon Bell just tore up the league this year. 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, averaged 6 yards per carry. That in itself is pretty ridiculous. That's what Alvin Kamara averages. And that was only on 222 carries, too. That's... wow, okay. As for receiving, Jamison Crowder led the team with almost 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. Robbie Anderson at 820 and 4. Quincy Enunwa at 807. Chris Herndon had a pretty solid year. So it looks like... I'm actually kind of confused at this because it looks like our passing game wasn't the most prolific in the league, but it was solid. But you would think Le'Veon Bell would have more carries if that was the case, but I don't know. Anyway, see how bad our offensive line was. Kelvin Beachum let up 12 sacks. He's not going to be on the team next year already, so that's fine. TJ Mosley leading the defense in his first year with the Jets, 133 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 picks. Sacks going to be led by Leonard Williams with 7. Jordan Jenkins actually had 5.5. Quinnen only had 4. Picks led by Jamal and Daryl Roberts with 3 each. A couple of guys had 2. A few guys had 1. Picking was not very good. And no return touchdowns on the year. So look at awards really quick, see where we placed, if maybe we won any at all. Le'Veon Bell at 5 for Offensive Player of the Year. CJ Mosley finishes second behind Darius Leonard for Defensive Player of the Year. We didn't have a single skill position offensive rookie. We just had Trevon Wesco and Chuma Edoga. So defensive rookie though, Quinnen Williams coming in 10th. I have had him win it before. I've done like 1 or 2 of these just on my own, and he has won it. 4 sacks seems a little bit low, unfortunately, but Darnold does come in 10th for best quarterback. Le'Veon won best running back. Didn't have anybody for best receiver. No O-line, which is no surprise there. No D-line either. CJ Mosley in 6th for a linebacker, and nobody for D-back. Would have thought Jamal Adams might have finished up there, but Matt Bryant in 9th for best kicker. So those are the awards. Let's move on to the offseason. All right, so here in the offseason of year number 1 now, and we did bring back Muhammad Wilkerson for 1 year because we still don't have a long-term answer at D tackle. We also brought back Matt Bryant. We did bring back Jordan Jenkins on a 3-year deal. And if we find a replacement or a better player for him, we can always trade him. But I think that's it. I think everybody else we are not bringing back. I may try to get a couple of them back through free agency, but not at the moment. So the Super Bowl in year 1 had the Colts beating the Eagles 35-24. So I'm going to go ahead into free agency and see what we can do. All right, so in year 1's free agency, we're going to be bringing in Chris Jones, the D tackle, on a 4-year deal, I believe. So that kind of opens up space to get rid of Muhammad Wilkerson. Let's just go ahead and throw him on the trade block, see if we can get anything for him. So Chris Jones is a 90 overall. I think he's definitely going to be pretty good. He's not a nose tackle, but he's a pretty big guy, and he's really strong as well. So hopefully it won't matter too much in the sim. But I think the D-line definitely got better from that acquisition. And I guess it kind of helps that both of the Williams guys are both, over 300 as well. So they can all kind of eat up some space for the outside linebackers to get in and stop the run, blitz the quarterback, whatever. So there are a few other guys that I'm waiting for to sign contracts. So I will let you know once they do or do not. All right, so in week 2 of the free agency period, we brought in Jake Elliott and Isaiah Crowell. Unfortunately, DeMar Dotson rejected our contract, which was to be expected. We really didn't have any cap room to work with. I think we have $3 million right now, so it's a little bit tough to bring in quality free agents at the moment. All right, and in the final week of free agency, we brought back Locke Edwards. So we have 48 out of 53 spots filled right now, and I think we have 3 extra draft picks this year, I think. So that should be nice. Hopefully we get some good rookies in the draft, but we'll see here in just a second. All right, so 2 days later now, in real time, we're back recording this. Anyway, we left off right before the draft, I believe, and unfortunately the draft did not really go very well. Kind of whiffed on a few players here and there. We really only had 1 hit in the entire draft, which is kind of unfortunate. And I also decided I'm just not going to do real life prospects, at least this time around. You guys can definitely let me know in the comments if that's something you really want to see, but I think I just need to get myself a little bit more well acquainted with the upcoming draft prospects before I kind of dive deep into doing that like I have in the past. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over this draft. So with the first pick, Kenny Montgomery, right outside linebacker, 68 normal dev. That was kind of a common theme with this draft, but let's get into the second round. Lynn Corbett with our extra second round pick. 77 overall, normal dev, left guard. We did definitely need a lot of help on the offensive line. You're going to notice a lot of offensive line picks here, especially in the first few, well, actually the first 6 rounds, really. We mostly focused on the offensive line. So Corbett, Deron Fields, we took a D tackle in the 3rd round, but then we went right back to the O-line, right tackle in the 4th, left guard in the 5th, right tackle in the 6th. And none of them outside of Corbett were really are really going to be impact players in year 1. And it's just kind of unfortunate. I did take this tight end and this quarterback here, and the strong safety actually. All of our last 4 picks I just took just to have some backups in, because we just needed a couple guys at those positions. So that was the draft. I think overall it's just a really weak draft class. I think draft classes in general are a lot weaker this year than they have been in the past. But I just did a draft last night on one of my other franchises, and it was really good. I had a whole bunch of hidden dev guys, even though they weren't the highest overalls. And I even had a couple guys that were mid to high 70 overalls. Actually, one guy was projected undrafted, and he ended up being a late first round talent. So that was pretty cool to see. I kind of like that there's a little bit of extra variation sort of in the draft. But as a whole, it's a lot different to try to draft good rookie players this time around. So let's go ahead and get into year number 2. All right, so here in the preseason of year number 2, we have some trade offers here for Muhammad Wilkerson, who I put on the trade block after signing Chris Jones in the offseason. So surprisingly, we've got some decent second round pick offers for next season. So I think we are going to take, I'll take this. Well, actually, hang on. Let's try to really think about this. I will take, you know what? No, I'm just going to take this one from the Giants. He won't have to move very far at all, and that should be a pretty decent pick, I would imagine. Anyway, let's just go over the team very quickly before we get into year 2, and then we can move on to the mid-season, where I will catch back up with you guys. So the offensive line is looking quite a bit different. We've got Chuma Edoga moved to center now, just because he was he had the best body for center out of all of my extra offensive linemen that I had. Corbett, I moved to left tackle because he is a pass protector, so that fits our scheme there. Signed a couple of backups here and there. Seth DeValve's our backup tight end now. Let's move Quincy up to be the number 2 receiver. Anything else different? I don't think anything else was really different on offense. I don't think anything has really changed on defense either. Actually, I did add Eli Apple because we needed another corner. He probably won't amount to much, but you never know. So Chris Jones really is just the big addition this year that should be making an impact for us right away. Aside from that, we really got to rely on some development from some of the younger guys and some of these rookies to perform. So I'll see you guys in the midseason and see how we're doing. So at the midseason point of year number 2, we are actually sitting with a record of 5-2, which is leading the AFC East, surprisingly. Gotta be honest, I did not expect this kind of season thus far out of this team with our O-line as young and inexperienced as the majority of it is. But we do have some players to re-sign here. Avery Williamson being a big one. Brian Winters, I think I would like to bring back as well. He is pretty solid, but he is starting to get up there in age. Marcus May, I think I want to bring him back too. I think the only bad thing about him really is his age. He's already 27. Does not help that he was drafted at 24 years old. Kalichio Semele, I may also bring back for one more year. I'm not too sure. The rest of these guys, I'm really definitely not worried about. But let's try to get Avery Williamson locked up, and we do actually have some money now to spend, which is nice. So let's see if he will take that, and he does. Brian Winters, I might wait till the end of the season for him and Osemele, but let's go ahead and get Marcus May locked up. Let's just give him a 4-year deal. So that way it'll run through the rest of the rebuild, and he accepts that. So I'm going to wait till the offseason for Osemele and Brian Winters. Rest of the guys I'm not going to worry about. And I know it does say Jamal Adams is up here, but for all of my first round draft picks and the first round picks that are still on the team, like Adams, Darnold, Quinnen Williams, and the guy that I drafted in the first round last year, I always just edit their contracts to be 5 years instead of 4, so they get that 5th year option, which just isn't a thing in Madden because I don't know why. It should be in Madden, but it's not. So I do that instead. So anyway, I will see you guys at the end of the season, see if we can actually make the playoffs. Weirdly enough to say here in year 2. All right, so here at the end of season number 2, we actually made the playoffs, and we also got a bye week. So weird. We finished with a record of 11-5, just barely beating out the Patriots for the division. Let's take a look at some stats, though. We had the 3rd best offense in the league and the 13th defense. So we're definitely an offensive team at the moment. Sam Darnold, that is an incredible year for him in his 3rd season. I would take that in real life. I would be extremely happy with that. We finally have a franchise quarterback in the Jets. 4,400 yards, 40 touchdowns, 7 picks, 63% completion percentage is not too bad. Rushing the ball, Le'Veon Bell, almost 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns. Really good year from him again. Quincy, though. Quincy had 19 touchdowns. Oh my God. Okay, 94 catches, almost 1,300 yards, and 19 touchdowns. That is ridiculous. Robbie Anderson, pretty solid, 76 catches, 828 yards, 5 touchdowns. Jamison Crowder, 750 and 3. Le'Veon Bell out of the backfield, pretty damn good in the passing game as well. And Chris Herndon also had a pretty decent year. This offense is pretty nuts. Was not expecting 19 touchdowns from Quincy, but Glenn Corbett, the rookie left tackle, led the team in sacks given up with 14, which isn't the worst from a rookie. CJ Mosley leading the defense with 114 tackles, half a sack, and 3 picks. Sacks going to be led by Leonard Williams with 10. Chris Jones had 8, so the new arrival definitely did his job. Jordan Jenkins, 5.5. Quinnen Williams only had 3. Would have liked to see a little bit more production out of him. CJ Mosley also led the team in picks with 3. Avery Williamson, Brian Poole had 2, and a few other guys had 1 each. Kicking was still not great. Any kick return touchdowns? Nope, not this year once again. So let's look and see if we won any awards. MVP goes to Andrew Luck. Sam Darnold just barely missing out on that. We also barely miss out on Coach of the Year. So Sam Darnold in 3rd for Offensive Player, Le'Veon Bell in 5th. We got CJ Mosley in 5th for Defensive Player. Wes Casey, our backup quarterback, in 4th for Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's dumb. DeMar Merriam, well, I'm not sure who that is, actually. I'm pretty sure he's the backup strong safety. Came in 5th. I get a pick. Okay, let me just say this one thing again about Madden and their awards system. You know how Andrew Luck finished 2nd for MVP, but then he finishes 4th for best quarterback? Nothing makes sense. I don't get it. Like, even Andrew Luck didn't even win best quarterback. Phillip Rivers did. I don't know if they're just trying to have other players win some awards, but if you win the best, most valuable player in the entire league, but you don't even win the best position group award in your conference, that doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, sorry for the little rant. Darnold comes in 4th for that. Le'Veon Bell did win best running back. Quincy won best receiver, which is nice. Nobody on the offensive line. We got Chris Jones in 5th for D-line. And then CJ Mosley's not up here for best linebacker either. That doesn't make sense. Nobody for DB, and Jake Elliott in 4th for best kicker. Real quickly, I just want to look and see if those 19 touchdowns. Okay, 3rd. That is pretty crazy. Anyway, let's go see who we're going to be playing next week. And that is going to be the Bengals, who went 10-6. So let me just do some training, take a look at the team, and we'll go ahead and get into that game. All right, so getting into our first playoff game of the rebuild against the 10-6 Cincinnati Bengals. We're in 85 overall now. They are in 81. Let's see how it goes. All right, so we're coming up on halftime here, and we just take the lead 21-14 just before the half. They tie it up, though, in the 3rd quarter. We take the lead again and extend our lead by 3. So we're now up by 10 once again. And the game is going to finish with a final score of 38-31. So we're moving on to the conference championship in our 2nd season. Not what I was expecting with this team, gotta be honest. All right, so in the conference championship of year number 2, we're going to be taking on the 11-4-1 Indianapolis Colts, who have the reigning MVP with Andrew Luck. They're in 87, we're now in 86. So let's see if Sam Darnold's feeling a little bit slighted at coming in 2nd for the MVP. Maybe he takes out the winner in this game. So coming up on halftime here, we're currently up 21-6 at the start of the 2nd. We extend our lead again. They go down the field, score a touchdown, and we just keep piling it on. It is 34-12, and that is how the game will end. Sam Darnold was pissed, man. Well, I mean, I guess he didn't really have the most impressive stat line. Le'Veon Bell did, though, 194 yards. So that'll get it done. We're moving on to the Super Bowl already. Can't believe it. Okay, so we're here in the Super Bowl playing the Dallas Cowboys, who also went 11-5 on the season. Let's see if we can kind of be a Cinderella story, because I don't think anybody expected this. They are a 90. We're still an 86. Oh, boy. Let's see. So coming up on halftime here, we're currently down 21-10. Definitely not the greatest start. We do score there, get the 2-point conversion, 21-18. We take the lead 25-21. Come on, defense, get a stop. Oh, they take the lead back. We tie it up. We're in overtime. We kick a field goal. They kick a field goal. Come on. What? We just won the Super Bowl in year 2 with the Jets. Are you kidding me? I'm speechless right now. What? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Let's see who the MVP was. Le'Veon Bell was the Super Bowl MVP, 162 yards and a touchdown. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Let's look at these stats. Sam Darnold did not even have the best game. 371 yards, only 1 touchdown, only 59% of his passes were completed. Dak Prescott really kind of tore up our defense, but he did have that 1 pick. Le'Veon Bell just outplayed Ezekiel Elliott. That is beautiful. Amari Cooper torched our corners, but Quincy definitely continued his hot streak in this season. Oh my god. Let's take a look at stats on the defensive side. We had 2 sacks. They had 3. And Perry Nickerson got the pick on Dak Prescott. So, wow. I am honestly just stunned. I'm still in shock that we just did that to the Cowboys in overtime like that. I can't believe we just won a Super Bowl in year 2. So I'm just going to show you guys the team real quick. Go in here and take a look at the development of our players. Sam Darnold is up to a 91. Played like an MVP this season. The offensive line definitely improved a ton since the start of year 2. a ton. I had no expectations going into this year. My season goal that I picked was 4 wins because I thought the offensive line was going to be a big problem. Quincy Enunwa balled out this year. 19 touchdowns. That's third most in a single season in NFL history. Le'Veon Bell has been just great. Robbie Anderson's up to an 89. I mean, this team is pretty sick. Jamal Adams is almost at a 99. Definitely be there next season. Brian Poole is also up to an 85. Quinnen Williams up to a 90. Our D-line is so nice. I just kind of wish we could generate a little bit more sacks, but I think that might come with getting better outside linebackers as well. Ja'Kai Polite, I think definitely got some potential. He can definitely still grow into like a mid-80s player probably. I would kind of like to revamp our corners a little bit though. But anyway, guys, for now, I think I'm going to call the video here. Reason for that mostly is I have to go do some errands and some other things, and I just want to get this first rebuild out to you guys since it has already been like 2 weeks that Madden's been out. But if you guys want to see a part 2 to this, we can kind of go through the next, 3 years that are supposed to be already allotted in our 5-year window, just to kind of see like the development of our players, see if we can maintain this, Super Bowl level of play, get some more draft classes in there because we only had one draft class. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in that, definitely just let me know in the comments. I may be doing it anyway because I'm pretty interested myself. Like I said, I just want to get this first video out to you guys as soon as possible. So not going to go through the YouTube BS with you guys. You know what to do if you like the video, if you want to see more. You guys have been around the block, I'm sure. So anyway, hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one.